once again everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or just welcome to my channel if this is the first video of mine that you are seeing. This video is quite obviously about my experience working for Victoria's Secret. I had a couple of requests to do this video and I was planning to do it anyways, but the fact that I had some requests for it just made me kind of hasten to it and start with this video. So without further ado, let's just get started. So I started working for Victoria's Secret in December 2016, and the way that I was hired was very strange to me. I was applying a lot of different places before I even got like a job at Kohl's, which if you've seen my experience working at Kohl's video, you know how that went. I'll link it down below if you haven't seen it, whatever. So anyway, before I started working at Kohl's, I was applying to a ton of different places, and I just happened to apply at Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works and all these different places in my mall. And so if you don't know, Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works are both owned by the same company. It's called L Brands, Limited Brands, and so my information was all in their system. So anyway, time passed. I didn't get anything from Victoria's Secret. I started working at Kohl's. You guys know how that experience went. Not very well. So I wasn't there for very long. It was actually probably a week after I quit Kohl's that I got a phone call from someone at Victoria's Secret who they like called me. It was like 8 o'clock at night. It was so weird. And the girl was like, hey, would you mind coming in for an interview tomorrow? And I was like, sure, this is perfect. Just quit Kohl's. Didn't really have anything else lined out that was working for me at the time. So I just thought it would be a great opportunity, even if I didn't get the job, whatever. So the next day I went in. For my interview, I just wore a long sleeve black button-up shirt tucked into some black dress pants and some black flats. That's just what I wore to my interview. And of course had my makeup on and everything, and it was just fantastic. So I went in. It was a group interview. It was me and one other woman. She looked like she was probably in her 30s or something. I don't really know. But anyway, we went into the interview. We weren't asked a whole lot of questions. The interviewer kind of just asked, why do you want to work for Victoria's Secret? Where have you worked previously? Tell me about that. They did ask one time what you liked, what was your favorite thing and your least favorite thing about your last job that you had. So of course I told them about my issues at Kohl's, and they were very sympathetic towards that. The interviewer was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, that's terrible. So yeah, that's how the interview went. It was super casual. It was not like super tense and super serious. It was casual and fun, and it was one of the best interview experiences I've personally had. So when we left, the girl that interviewed us told us that she would call us back later that day to tell us who got the job or whatever. So, and this was like 2 or 3 weeks, it was 2 weeks before Christmas. So, I mean, I was very confused. I thought that it would be like they would be hiring seasonal a lot sooner than that, but you know, who am I to know what goes on in retail? So anyway, so I got a call later that day that I did get the job and that I was supposed to come into work the following Saturday. Yeah, the following Saturday, so that was like 2 or 3 days later. So I was really excited about it. So I went in for my orientation Saturday, and it was really cool to me. Like, the orientation wasn't a whole lot of people. It was me and 2 other girls there who I kind of became friends with while working there. And they were really nice. We kind of just talked and got to know each other during the orientation. Meanwhile, we would also be filling out stuff and watching like employee videos that we had to do and all of that. So it was just a really laid back atmosphere from like my personal viewpoint, you know, like it wasn't like, oh my gosh, you have to do this, don't talk, don't do anything. It's just like, yeah, just have like these casual conversations. It was really cool. So, you know, got all my paperwork done, my payment information, all that. That's how my orientation went. It was really laid back. Like I said, everything was so laid back. I loved it. And I pretty much wore the same thing, like a very similar outfit to my orientation. I'm giving all these details because I know a lot of people watch these types of videos because they're applying to work at these places. So I'm giving you a rundown, girl, or guy, doesn't matter. So orientation was good, and I was scheduled to work the following Monday, which I was just thrilled about. So I worked pretty much every day the next week, which was fantastic. So the first 2 days were like training, and it was me and one of the girls that I was in orientation with. We were being trained together, so that whole week we pretty much worked together. And I was on cash register every single day that first week, which was great. I loved the cash register. I felt like working the cash route made time go by so much faster than doing any other job at like any store. You just see all these new people, you're meeting new people, you're helping people, you're constantly busy, there's not really any downtime, and that's the kind of work environment I personally like. It makes me feel productive to be doing something all the time. I hate downtime at work. I don't like to be doing nothing. I'm very much, you know, let's go, 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 let's do something all the time. So I really, really loved that facet of the job. And I mean, obviously I ran into problems. Everybody runs into problems when they're starting a new job and they don't know how anything works, and you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just kind of like the new hire experience, kind of. And everybody was so nice. I cannot stress enough how nice 99% of my coworkers were. I only met a couple of people who were not super friendly to me, but for the most part, it was just fantastic. I loved pretty much everyone that I worked with. There wasn't really a time when I was on a shift and I was like, ugh, I hate that I have to be working with her right now or him right now. Like, no, like everybody was pretty much friends. Like, it's great. So that first week that I worked there, I was pretty much always on cash wrap, which is totally fine, like I said. And then I had pretty much the whole next week off. That's the one bad thing that I encountered. If you worked a whole week, you're probably not going to work the next week at all. But anyways, I was off on the schedule that whole next week. However, the girl who schedules people to work called me, she called me Tuesday, the Tuesday of the next week. And she was like, hey, can you come for shipment tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, sure, I can come for shipment tomorrow. What time? And she was like, 5 in the morning. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm not one to deny, like, taking on extra work. I took on so much extra work working at Victoria's Secret, because you would not believe how many people get hired for seasonal and then don't want to come to work. Like, I don't understand. I never turned down an opportunity to go to work. So I was just like, yeah, sure, I can do shipment. Like, that's fine. Knowing full well I would have to wake up at 3 in the morning just to make it there on time from my house. So that was a whole bunch of rigmarole, but it was fine. I got there, I did it, it was great. So that day, I had shipment that morning, and I got off at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I went and had breakfast, went to lunch, like went and saw my grandparents, then came home. I get home and I'm like taking a nap, okay, because obviously I woke up at 3 in the morning. So I was taking a nap and I hear my phone ringing. It's the girl who schedules people, and she's like, hey, I need you to come to work right now. And I'm like, I just got home from work. And she was like, well, you can come back. I was like, I'm in my bed at home. It's going to take me like an hour to get there. And she was like, oh, it's fine. That's fine. You can be a little late. So that's, I mean, I'm not complaining about it because I really loved working there, and I really loved the hours that I got when I got them. It's just that it was kind of annoying that I wasn't getting all my hours at one time, because that's like way too much gas for me to be using. Like, go up there, get all the way home, and then have them call me back to work a double shift. Like, You know, the only complaint is that I wish that they would have given me all these hours at once instead of having me go home and then come back, you know. So anyway, that whole week I ended up just being called into work, and I worked double shifts a couple of times that week. Then the whole next week I was pretty much off because I had worked a lot of call-in shifts the previous week. And then the last week that I worked there, I worked double shifts pretty much every day. I worked like 11-hour shifts. It was kind of crazy because it was semi-annual sale and all of that. But overall, I got a lot of hours. I got a whole lot of hours. My last check from them was super good. I'll just say that. Oh, seasonal does start off at $10 an hour, just so you know. I was intending to say that at the start, but I totally forgot. So anyway, seasonal starts off at $10 an hour. So it's really, really good, especially if you get a lot of hours, and I did, because I did not, I didn't reject an opportunity to work, ever. So that's how I made my money there. And, I mean, it's just great. The coworkers are great. The managers are fantastic. Everyone there at my Victoria's Secret that I worked at was so nice. They were so great. I mean, if you've seen my Victoria's Secret Stories video, which I will also link down below, then you'll know that sometimes things were not so great, but the majority of the time, by and large, it was a fantastic experience. I loved every minute of it. I wish I was still working there, but you know, I mean, that's the one downside. When you're seasonal, you're probably not going to be kept on, especially if they have a lot of permanent employees. That's just the way that it is. That's the way it goes. But, you know, I expected that from the beginning. But the only thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way is they never told me that I was not being kept. The only way that I found that out was by looking at the schedule online and seeing that I was scheduled as off work for the next 2 months. So that was kind of like, you know, a stab in the back. Like, I worked all these double shifts. I covered people's shifts constantly. Like, what's the deal? You know what I mean? So, I mean, that was the only thing that was kind of like annoying, but, you know, but yeah, I mostly worked the cash wrap, which is where the cash registers are, but sometimes I would have shipment, like I said. So basically what shipment is you go in at 5 o'clock in the morning before Christmas, or after Christmas it's 6 in the morning, and you work for 4 hours unloading shipments of products to go push out onto the floor. So when you're unloading shipments, you're pretty much hanging and folding clothes for 4 hours straight. With the occasional, like, you'll go out on the floor and you'll put things away, like when a clothing rack gets full that you have in the back room, you'll take it out and like put all the clothes up on the racks, you know. So I did shipment a lot. Even when I was scheduled to work cash wrap, a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but a few times I did have to go in the back and help with shipment, which was weird. It's only really during semi-annual that they do shipment during the regular work day. So cash wrap and shipment were my main 2 things, but I did do floor set one time, which is from 9 p.m. until usually 2 in the morning. It's supposed to be 1, but you usually work till 2, sometimes 3. But anyway, that's just kind of where you are out on the floor and you're like cleaning, like you have to refold all the panties at the end of the day. You have to refold all the panties that everyone's messed up. You have to reorganize everything. And when I did it, we were pricing for semi-annual. So it was a lot of, you know, people with price guns pricing stuff, and then other people folding it and putting it back where it belongs. And if you weren't doing that, then you were folding just anything that was out of place. You were folding it, you were putting it back, you were doing anything that you could to straighten up the store. So that's pretty much all of the stuff that I encountered while working there. Granted, I only worked there for roughly a month and a half, but I did get pretty good hours during that time, and I really do wish that I would have been kept on because I really loved working there. It wasn't like I was dreading going into work. I really enjoyed it. It's probably my favorite job that I've ever had. It was so fantastic. So I'll just let you know, like, obviously I told you pay is $10 an hour for seasonal. I don't know what it is for regular part-time. The discount, the employee discount, is 30% off pretty much anything except sale. When sales or promotions are going on, you can either do the sale or promotion, or you can do your employee discount. Usually whichever one will get you the better deal is what you do. And I don't know how long my employee discount will be valid still. I'm still able to log online on the ACES website, which is what Victoria's Secret uses to post our paychecks and stuff like that. So I don't know how long my employee discount is valid. I have like a little card that I can use for my discount. Like, I don't know. I'm not really sure, but I'll still use it if I can. So yeah. Overall, Victoria's Secret is a fantastic place to work. If you can, I definitely recommend that you work there. Like, try to work there, especially if you're passionate about Victoria's Secret and PINK products. You'll do fantastic. It's just a great workplace. Like, it's a great environment to be in. It was so awesome. I loved everything about it. Like I said, I wish I was still there. So definitely a very positive work experience for me. And hopefully I can work there next season. I don't know. I'm gonna try really hard because I really do like it, and I made a few friends there, so fingers crossed. But anyways, that's all I really have to tell you about working at Victoria's Secret. Nothing super scandalous. It's just like, it's a fantastic place to work. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Leave me a like if you like this video, comment down below, and subscribe because I make new videos every Monday and Friday. Thank you guys once again so much for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!